Hi, Yulia.
Hi, Asma.
How are you?
All good. How are you?
I'm very good. So, before we dive into today's topic about numerology, I would love to our audience to know more about you. What made you start this journey?
Thank you, Asma, for sharing this moment with me. First of all, I just want to give also a brief on you first, if you don't
Okay.
mind.
Yes, of course.
I want to start with and that would lead to the mission that I hold. Actually, you came to my life around 2 years back, right? And I hope that we became already even friends, right?
True.
So you came to me searching for answers to the questions like what can bring you success, happiness, fulfillment, money, and everything, right? And I hope I did my work great and helped you using my method, which we're going to talk about, which is the combination of numerology and psychology. And that's the main mission that I hold to help people, to serve people, to find their true path through their date of birth and through psychological methods. And we found your mission, and right now you're here as well to be this host because that's what your true mission is about to be a TV presenter, shine on camera,
True.
and that's it, right?
Absolutely.
Yes. And speaking about the question that you asked me, my whole life I was searching for answers who I am,
Mm-hmm.
how can I serve people, what's the true sense of life. And from early ages, I realized how I can make money fast, even though I come from quite a poor family.
You are
Eh,
originally
I am
from.
from Russia, yes,
Okay.
but I spent some time in the US and then I moved to Dubai. And I was searching for answers and
What kind of answers? Was it like health, relationship,
sense of
money?
life, like what can bring me fulfillment,
Mm-hmm.
and relationship was the
The
problem.
priority.
Yes. And also, what can I do not to be like, to be like everyone else, I guess, and to be happy because people
Mm.
are usually not happy when they just follow what their parents tell them to do, right? Or what they study, because usually people are not happy when they go to university, they study something and then they
True.
don't do this work, right? I was the same.
Mm-hmm. I
And
think we have been the victim to our society, to the programs, whatever we have been brought to. That's why, let's say we are here. And I'm one of the examples that I found that the things I truly want to do. Uh, can you tell us like more? How come that we lose sometimes our paths because of those programs, because of what we have been taught to?
the majority of people, you answered actually this question, I think, partially yourself, that the majority of people lose themselves just following what society has to say. And a lot of people, they don't have this strong voice inside. And even if they had it, they lose it because first it's parents who tell us what to do because we grow up with the figure of the parent, adult, right? And then it's kindergarten, school, universities, teenagers around you, and all these voices, they speak, and then you lose what you actually feel, what you actually have to say, you actually want to do. Even you can share your story,
True,
how
true.
you lost this voice.
I remember actually it's funny because when we were doing the sessions and I came to you seeking some answers, and then when we start talking, I know that you are using also psychology as one of the approaches, and that we will speak about this as a second part, how you combine because your approach is unique. It's not just numbers and analyzing it. I found you spoke about the inner child. And when we were talking, and you said, okay, what made you happy when you were a kid? I was like, I forgot how to remember all of this. And then I was like, wait, I always wanted to be a TV presenter. I always when I was to be a kid, I used to carry the mic. I used to pretend I'm a TV presenter. I used to take my twins brothers and make them as if they are famous actors and actresses. And there is one is a cameraman. And that was like, okay, oh my God, I forgot about this. And since that day, I start to take care of my little Asma, my baby Asma. I start to be more sympathetic with her. I do what makes me happy. I do acting classes. I do the public speaking. I do the stage, and I'm not scared to show off that. So it's funny how through that method it shake me up. It made me like wake up, and I had the answers long time ago, since when I was a child. And it's funny how all of our answers is back when we were kids.
They're hidden, right, under the layers of these voices of society, mom, dad,
True.
etc. So, and this is what my method does. It goes back, like it brings you back to this little Asma or little whatever name the person has, and just unlocks like who you truly are and what to do with life to be happy. Because, like I said, for example, for me,
Yeah.
I reached material success. Let's say, I got like what I wanted, car, apartment, but deep inside, like, what was it? Like, is it happiness? No, not for no one it's happiness, right? Happiness is like what you said, like a little Asma shining on stage and
Yeah.
stuff, right? For me, when I was little, let's just speak
Yeah,
a little bit about that. I was reading like the zodiac signs and like, like what does it mean or what this girl is like, you know, and just like
analyzing
and always giving advice to people like what they
Yeah.
should do, like, you know, little philosopher. And yeah, that's how you find answers, what drives you and brings you this inner passion.
But it's amazing how someone like you is coming from, because I know at the personal level, you're coming from the corporate world.
True.
And, you know, corporate world, it's about money, fame,
Absolutely.
me and me, to, you know, helping people and more into spirituality. I would love just to go little details on this, because there is something that intrigued you. There is something that, there was a turning point or something personal that made you say, this is it. This is my path.
That's a good question. I think I used my own method, and that's what was the turning point. Because about corporate world, it all made sense for me. You know, it was so easy. I just knew, like, okay, you do 1, 2, 3, and then okay, you can reach this title, you can do that. And it's not, there's nothing bad about corporate
Yeah,
world.
absolutely.
Of course, it suits a lot of
And
people.
some people and some numbers are good at it.
100%.
And it suits them.
100%. And some people, they need stability, they need comfort, they need a
Yeah.
clear path. So it makes a lot of sense. For me, the turning point was analyzing, first of all, my numbers. I told you many times, you know, that we all forget this information like in a blink of an eye. So I kept forgetting, or maybe I kept pretending to forget, because I knew this information for a long time. But then what happened is I started taking more school, studying more. And when we study more, even though we have a lot of information already in our heads, it's just to prove something, right? To yourself that you're an expert.
Yeah.
So I remember it was like maybe 6 school already, number 6 or like 7. I was taking knowledge. And then I look again at my codes and I'm like, okay, like I have to stop, you know, I have to start. And then another thing which happens to a lot of people is, of course, the word crisis, right? So when you reach the point of some crisis, that's when you start thinking even more.
The bottom.
Bottom, yeah. So I would say that, it just was one of my new education that I got. And then I looked at my numbers, and then things were falling apart at work. And I was like, I'm not happy. I'm not satisfied. So what should I do? I started a blog. That's it. Yes.
Okay. So I want to share a quote with you. And I was doing the search about today's topic for Saint Augustine, who is a Roman philosopher. He said, numbers are the universal language offered by the deity to humans as confirmation of the truth. How does this reflect in your own view in numerology?
You know, there is another person who played a huge role in numerology, which is Pythagoras, who started all of this, mathematics, music, and all of this, right? He believed in numbers, and he believed that it's one of the languages.
He's the father of numbers.
Is. And I agree with this concept, that even what you said as this quote, that numbers is like one of the languages, universal languages that connect us to... you know my concept that I believe that this is a matrix around us, like some sort of illusion. And there has to be like a computer game. There has to be a code, you know?
And decode.
Yeah.
Not just 1 0, but it's like lots of numbers now.
This is one of the universal like languages that connect us to higher powers, as I believe, and like loopholes in this computer game, in this matrix.
Yeah.
And
even numbers are mentioned in the holy books, in
they are.
Quran, in Bible, in Torah. I think yourself have a good knowledge
I do.
about the three books. You want to
I
share
do.
about this?
Yes, I do. I read all of them.
So
And
what made you be curious to read about them? Was it numerology or spiritual?
spirituality, I was
Okay.
always into spirituality. I never got, I was interested in everything all my life, you know. And numerology, I just found it as the easiest way to search for answers and get them fast. I was searching for other methods as well. And you're right, like I still remember finishing Quran and reading like one of the last surahs, which says like the zodiac. I was like, wow. What's the connection?
Yes, yes. There is the part where God speaks about the stars, about yes, I agree with that.
And the Bible, it's even more like Jesus was born around astrologers. This is like they were called differently, but they were reading the stars. These people who were around Jesus when he was born. So of course, and there is always an indicator of like seven skies of these
True.
numbers, like devil numbers,
True,
666, right?
Yeah.
And this is all has been there for ages. You know,
Yes.
it's not created now.
And also we have the Tesla code 369, the amazing famous
yes,
code.
Yes, which is a lucky code, as I told you recently. Yes, so it's been there for ages.
For ages. But what made this numerology hidden nowadays? People, they don't talk about it, or even when they talk about it, they think it's not real science. What made it left while ages our ancestors used to use it for guidance?
I honestly think that it's about people that, first of all, like, look, if you give a knife to a person, what you can do with a knife? You can cut the cake and you can like cut someone's hand, right? And the same you can do with anything.
Double-edged.
Yes. So like, I would say even these methods like numerology and like other methods, they are all people just treated them wrong. And even, you know, I've never spoken about this, but for example, Hitler, it's proven, it's in history, he had an astrologer. And it's proven, like there is a history part of that, that the astrologer told him that he's going to be in trouble if he doesn't finish this. But he was so like dominating and so much in power that
Narcissistic.
he put this astrologer in prison. After
my
that,
God.
he said that. And of course, we know the end. But all politicians always had this.
Yeah, I want to ask you also about
Always.
politicians when it comes to election, even some magic they do.
They do, but like I feel like people started like misusing these instruments, and somehow it was hidden
in
and
a harmful way.
yeah, and when you make it in a harmful way and when you use it in a wrong way, eventually like people start comprehend these methods as something bad. For example, still numerology, if you look at it, or astrology, if you look around internet, you know it yourself that in some countries, like for example in India, people use it like to change the name, and then because of the change of the name, they go to like they ask for the date for the person to marry, and they believe in that, you know. And
we will move to this about the topic, but we love Indians. We love the respect all types of numerology.
We do, of course.
It's just a point of view. See, this brings me to the next question. You mentioned in one of your previous interviews and also on your Instagram page that honestly got my attention. You spoke about the difference between Western and Eastern numerology. Now, for some people, or most of people, including me, we are more familiar with the Eastern and Western astrology. Like we know there is Chinese astrology, there is the Western astrology. But when it comes to numerology, there is also difference. And it's not just a tiny difference, it's a significant difference. So can you please elaborate more on that?
Yes. So I think it was always historically this way that two sides of the world, they were always like separated in concepts, even religiously and philosophy wise. So what happened is like I would say that numerology is the basis and astrology comes from numerology, because even astrology has numbers, right? Like degrees and stuff. So I would say that how it happened, how they got separated is just like historically, geographically and stuff. And plus West was more science driven. all the time, right?
Yeah.
It was more reliant on science. Like if you look at Europe, at like these countries. So for example, astrology has lots of big schools in Germany and in my country, in Russia as well.
Really?
So why? Because people were trying to combine science and find scientific proof for all of that. That's how Western became Western, because it's relying on math. It's relying on pure math.
And Eastern?
I would say that I think they're more relying on like psychic methods, like psychic methods. Of course, they all derive and come from the same concept, even like the numbers are still numbers. And there's still a lot of similarities, even in astrologies. But the way that how you use it and what's the meanings, they're different. The motivation is different. The motivation of the Western methods is based on the math to give you a clear guidance on like practical steps, what to do, right?
Actions.
The actions. What does it mean? There is a correlation of with psychology as well, because it's, like I said, it's science based. And I think it's just like people, for example, in Eastern world, they just relied on, by the way, I believe that they preserved ancient knowledge more, like for example in India, of the astrology and stuff, but then they never adapted it to the modern world. And that's when the clash happened. You understand? So the clash happened because even still, when I talk to a lot of people who perceive my method on Instagram as an Eastern method, as Vedic, I try to explain that time changed. So it's different. Like you can't use the same like you cannot just rely on the information that was there thousands of years ago. You need to also adapt. And we need like practical guidance, right? This is the difference, which we know about. Yeah.
But it's confusing for the person, for the normal people who want to take, I don't know, a numerology session. They don't know like to which person to go home. And there is a story of a lady that when she was in Bali, and she mentioned how one of the, I'm not sure was he astrologist or was he numerologist, he told her that she will never get married. And it was very, very sad for her. You know how the subconscious mind goes, and she will start to believe on that, and it start to create more blockage to her. Maybe I think we have to be more careful to whom we should.
That's exactly, one of the disciplines in every Western school of astrology or numerology is counseling, like psychology. Because when you have these methods in your hands, any of these methods, you have to be conscious of yourself. You have to understand what you say to other people.
True.
Because you can hurt.
True.
That's what we discussed about knives. So what you're saying is these people, they just, they don't consider this, like the consequences for the person, that they say just what they see in this like ancient wisdom. That's it. But they don't see that what's coming further, right?
And one more thing, it makes you more depending to this method, because of course he will try to give her some solutions or subscriptions or whatever prescriptions, and she will come back and pay more and pay more. It make her more dependent on him.
And something else it does.
What else?
Takes responsibility from you.
Yes.
This is the worst part. This is what I don't like at all. Victim. Because I have a lot of ladies, you met some in our events, that they say that, like, for example, this guy told me that after a certain period of time, things will be like this. And then they just sit and wait. They don't do anything. They just rely on this like higher power of like this guy specifically who told her, not even like God or anything. They just rely on this person, and they put responsibility on him. And then they blame him if something goes wrong, right?
True.
That's what happens. That's what I never do.
So how can we help those people? What can we tell them to be more careful in choosing
the specialist
or them, like to be responsible? You are the person who is responsible for your life. You can ask for guidance, but you cannot rely totally.
You cannot rely at all. In fact, there is this concept of author of life, right? Like you are the author. You take responsibility. I always speak about this, right? That you cannot blame someone else for what happened in your life, even if it's your parents, even if it's your partner and things didn't go well. you're making choices every day. And if you go to a specialist, right, you need to understand that you're searching for help, but you are not putting your life in his or her hands.
True.
Right? That's what you need to understand. And it has nothing to do with specialists. It's in the mindset of the person.
True. It's the mindset. So how many schools of numerology we have?
Honestly, there's so many right now that appears every day. And, I was just like checking Instagram the other day, and there's this girl that she created like one more school. She says,
I know you
like,
have your own school too.
yeah, but I still rely on like the method, which is very similar to a big concept, which is called Matrix of Destiny. So my method is very close to that. It's a combination, and I would say like right now in many countries there's so many different methods. Like there's this Egyptian school of numerology, there's this like Vedic, of course, there is karmic, which is that full matrix of
But
destiny.
on the Western numerology, from where you come from, because for me it was surprising at the beginning to know there is a Russian lady who do numerology. Like if you tell me Chinese, Indian,
That's a weird concept.
Eastern,
Yeah.
Arabic, I would like listen or buy it, but I didn't know actually Russians, and maybe you can tell me later on how the people of Russia, they
Russia is
are more
hooked.
opening to that.
It's hooked, like the whole country is hooked. If you ask any Russian person,
Yeah.
they would tell you for sure they've been through sessions and stuff because it's so popular right now.
But how come? Because my impression, for the West, they are more scientific, more realistic. They wouldn't go to, I don't know, maybe they would go to a retreat and a spiritual journey, but to go to a numerologist and ask for a guidance, it's a bit new.
Yes, because in our countries, these things are right now considered as more of a psychology rather than just something like spiritual, esoteric. So, yeah, it's more of like psychology.
Who think?
Yes, and everyone, like, trust me, with Russians you can do this voodoo and they would never believe. But if you can, like, this actual methods, they are more on psychology, and psychology is so popular. Like, it's science, and people have lots of traumas, obviously, and they want to solve it, and they want to, and it just became popular, mainstream,
Yeah.
So
I think it's not just about traumas, but now the last 2-3 years there is a spiritual awakening.
there is, yeah.
People, they want to connect with their higher self, want to heal their traumas. They're not afraid to go and see a therapist and talk about their pains. Like, I don't know, 10 years ago we didn't have the audacity and the courage to share those things, but now we can talk about it publicly, and we can talk about our inner child and our healing journey. So what happened in the last 2-3 years to make this awakening?
There are many different concepts about it. Like if we look at just like politically and like at the world, you will see like COVID happened and people got stuck and they didn't know what to do, and then they had to face one-on-one like themselves and their partners, and like more wars started and the world is changing. So people just were pushed to look inside more. That's one.
Yeah.
Second is from astrology perspective, like the new era came, the Aquarius era.
So what's that? Speak English, please.
Yes,
We don't understand
it's like
numerology language.
it's like a big change of the world, that people become more. People rely more now on intuition, more on. Okay, there is a huge concept. I'm gonna speak now super spiritually, but there is like a saying, right, that the world is improving. For example, internet was given to us in like 80s or whatever, to now communicate like from with different countries.
True.
You don't need to have like you can just message a person.
You can have to write I don't know, letter and send it.
But how it was created, like why it wasn't given to us 200 years back, right? And why I'm saying this, that humanity is on the way to like even higher forms of understanding each other. They say, for example, there is a belief that soon we were gonna read thoughts of each other. Telekinesis, yes.
Yes.
And to grow spiritually, we need to look more inside, work like on our traumas, work on everything. So that's why people are now inclining towards those things. And of course, like I said, things happen like COVID and stuff. So
True. And it's just funny, you just mentioned about COVID. This happened after COVID, after the lockdown.
Yes.
I think like people, they needed this kind of freedom.
Yes.
And maybe this period of time where the people sat with themselves it reflected.
They had to face themselves. They had to face whatever they were hiding. Because speaking of like corporate worlds, people are used, it's called linear way, right? Like when you're born, you know that, okay, I'm going to go to kindergarten, I'm going to go to school, study this, maybe do the family tradition, blah, 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 then get married, then have kids, da, 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 da. And it's like, just like a line. And it was disrupted by COVID. Like, now what? And people, like in the corporate world, they usually leave like just understanding, okay, everyone does this, I'm going to do this as well, right? It's in most of the professions, you just do like ta 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 ta. And what happened with like COVID and everything which is happening in the world, yeah. Now you're like stuck, okay, but what's inside? What do I actually feel? What do I actually want?
What is a true mission? Is it going to be the life, like hustling and
rat
the
race,
routine?
right?
Yes, the
rat race. And then you don't even understand. And what happened? Why there were so many divorces? There were so many people quitting jobs. Because when they face it, they see, I'm not happy with this person. I'm not happy at this job. I'm not happy with this. And they start seeking for answers, right? So, and I feel like the whole world is now like doing that. And there's also scientific proof. We spoke with you about it, that the vibrations of Earth, the planet, are changing. They are becoming like higher now, and it requires conscious mind of everything, because people live subconsciously.
Okay, now for simple minds who are watching and they don't know subconscious vibrations, Earth and all this, let's simplify the information, how we are connected and how this is influenced.
Again, there can be different paradigms of how we're connected. Religiously, we're connected to God, all of us. All the humanity is like, we're definitely connected. In psychology, there is like, it's Freud who created this term, that there is like a collective mind and individual mind. So collective mind is like basically, if you are in a crowd, and crowd jumps, you're going to be inclined to jump as well. So you're going to follow what the crowd is doing, right? So, and that's what happens with everyone as well. Even if I don't see you, there is still a collective mind. So if everyone is doing something, if everyone is thinking something, if everyone is like, let's say, leaning towards spirituality, that other people will naturally, you understand?
So at the end of the day, we are one consciousness. We are all interconnected.
We are. Yes, absolutely. Like internet, like this.
and since we are interconnected, I'm sure you have clients, male and female.
Yes, today I had a session with males.
With a male guy. Yes. So how do women and men reach you to their topics or their concerns? Is it the same thing? I think, I don't know. This is my...
You want to know the difference between males and females in that?
Yes, when they come to you.
Look, I think, honestly, when you came to me, I think you also acted more on like a male approach, you know, because usually when it comes to ladies, they don't have this like logical, give me logical explanation, give me this, say me, what is this, what is that? Ladies, they're usually just curious and like, oh, what does it mean, da, da, da. And male approach is very different, like it's practical, right? Like pragmatic, like what does it mean, like what will it do with me? Like, what else? So, and you know me, because of the fact that I'm also pragmatic and skeptical, I speak the same language. Right? I don't speak this blah, blah language and voodoo. So, and the difference is, like I said, mostly it's about the approach. But at the end of the day, the funny thing, everyone wants to know everything about themselves. Even males, they have the same issues. Same.
So I don't know, because I think maybe women, they come for relationship, men they come for money, or it's not true all the time.
Actually, it's complete opposite with me these days. Complete opposite.
Really?
Like women come for money.
Men are being soft now.
Not soft, but they have issues with relationship and they don't know what to do. I swear, that's the most.
Yeah, but that's beautiful. It shows that they really care.
They do.
They want to find solutions and guidance to make their relationship work.
Yeah.
What was something funny happened with one of your clients?
Funny.
And don't use me as an example. I'm a third party here.
Funny in what sense?
Funny or weird, or like this was a strange, I don't know if there is a funny event that happened or situation.
Um, hard to remember. Funny. Your typical three who is talking about funny. Funny.
Funny in a weird way.
In a weird way. You know what? Just
For example, like
yeah.
prediction.
Prediction.
Like they ask you for predictions.
I don't do predictions.
Yeah,
you
that's
know
the
that.
thing. I know, but they don't know.
Okay. I was thinking about something else actually.
Okay.
Like there was a lot of times like people come and they're like, even you, people like they're like, oh, I need money, oh, I need that. I'm like, and they're focused on this like as if they only care about money, and then eventually like you start unlocking them, and it's complete opposite. It's like relationship is the key, relationship is what they crave, and then they start like healing the money topic, and it's an actual case of two of my ladies that they start like working on the money topic, and then we completely unlock relationship. It's not funny, but it's like twists that happen along the way. And about predictions, I don't do that, and I always tell people that I don't want to do that.
Yeah, so why you choose not to do it? I know you can use
I don't want
astrology.
to intervene with the free will of the person. I don't want to be that responsible for what we discussed. I don't want to be responsible for whatever is going to happen, because they're going to come and like blame me, and I don't want to take
that burden. Let's say.
Yes. And why would I do that? I would say that the core for me is still psychology, and I just use different methods to boost it, but it's still psychology. And in psychology, in therapy, you're not allowed to intervene with a person's will and with a person's path.
Can you say that again?
Even if you like give guidance, if you give advice, you're not allowed to intervene the person's path. You're not allowed to tell you, let's say, Asma, you have to you have to like download this application, go on dates tomorrow, and it's like you can't. You give guidance, but you don't intervene. You don't. You understand?
So these are like rules.
Yes. You're
because
not
maybe
allowed.
it has karma if you interfere in other people's
It's
journeys.
not ethic in psychology, as well as yes, it has like also karma. Who I am? I'm not God.
I understand. So basically, you guide the person, but at the end of the day, the person is a decision maker.
Of course, and that's why I always say to you as well, I'm gonna give you a plan, right? But who's gonna work with us? Me? No, I have my own plan.
Okay. Because some they don't. They do the predictions, and they can cause a lot of problems even for others.
Yes.
So can you explain, in numerology, some numbers are said to carry masculine energy while others carry feminine energy. So how does these energies show up in a person, let's say personality, behavior, or life path?
Yes, that's true. It's again, everyone. I will speak psychology now a little bit. Everyone has masculine and feminine sides. Everyone, female, male, doesn't matter. And some of the people, some of us, like let's say females, they have more masculine side. And it happens if you don't look at numerology. It happens because, let's say, in your childhood, your parents treated you like a boy, and like life happened that you had to take responsibility early age. Then you're naturally, as a woman, you're gonna be achievement driven, and you're gonna be more masculine. I'm talking psychology now. And the same with male, sometimes male is so much loved by their mother that they become so soft. This is in psychology. In numerology, it's much easier. Whenever you're born, you can judge like that this person is more masculine, this person is more feminine. But we have a lot of codes. So one code cannot give you a full picture of the person. But there are more masculine and more feminine codes.
Okay. Can we say those codes? But in a general
Yeah,
way.
sure. So, for example, 1, 4, 7, 8, they're super masculine. And 2, 3, 6 are super feminine. 5 is more masculine. 9 is more feminine.
Okay. Yeah. So let us explain more the word like feminine and masculine, because it can be misguiding for men. Say they are feminine, like no, they're straight, they're true men. But what does it mean more means?
Yes. What does it mean? Is that masculine codes, masculine energy in all of us, it's like I said, it's more on results. It's like, I need to push, I need to achieve, I'm goal oriented, I'm after, chasing energy.
Okay.
And feminine energy is attracting energy. Receiving. Yes. So when you don't chase, when you're receiving, like you said, and sometimes it doesn't mean that you just like sit and do nothing. It just means that
you relax and you do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's
More
say
soft.
if number 6, which is a feminine energy, start doing chasing, it will block.
Will go against. Yes, yes, yes. And it's, by the way, it works the same. Like I told you, for example, in numerology, in my numerology, which I teach, we have 30 main codes, right? So you have your money code, I have my money code, and let's say, which is a reality, my money code is 6. It starts with 6.
Oh, really?
So if I chase too much, I'm blocking my money. That's true. That's 100% true.
Even though you are number 1.
Even if I'm number 1.
So I still don't understand the let's say the difference. There is the day that you were born, right? If you were born on the 19th or the 1st, it makes you masculine energy.
It's personality.
Personality.
It's character, talents, character. So for example, I'm 1. I'm naturally going to be treated as a leader by people, even though I don't want, let's say, leadership. Let's say I deny it, I reject it, people will still follow. And people will still see me as someone who can protect and stuff, you know? And for example, in money, I have 6, which is different, right? So it means that the way of receiving money for me is different. And in relationship, I'm 2, which is also different, you know? So it means that in relationship, I'm going to act like this. And I'm going to block myself through the code of 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's say there is personality, there is career, there is money, there is relationship. And the way how you calculate them is different.
Correct.
Okay. So we want to help audience to do their own calculation. Can you give us the form? And I know it's easy.
No, it's much easier. Actually, we can attach under this video my calculator, which I created. You can just put your date of birth and the calculator will do that. I created it myself with like the
AI?
The AI, yes. So I just use my school information and just input it there. And I'm creating this application, it's still in the process. And but there is already basic calculations. So if you put your date of birth, you will understand your personality talents, you'll understand your career path, and you'll understand relationship.
Okay, but it's different type of calculation. It's not just one. You do the date of birth plus the year plus the month.
It's not that simple.
Okay, so let's give a quick overview for each number from 1. When we say, okay, you spoke about yourself, number 1, number 2, 3, 4.
All right, yeah.
So let's say the number. Let's say the area they have to work on. I'm not gonna say challenge. The area and
Scorpio talking again.
Scorpio
challenge. What's challenge?
And let's say advice. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I know this is just based on the day of birth, but with the month and the year, there is going to be a deep, detailed calculation that you yourself do it, or someone just take the course.
You can teach at school.
Or teach it at your school. Exactly,
yeah.
And you can be more independent to do it by yourself.
Yes. All right. So for 2, we spoke. It's actually opposite of 1.
Okay. Let's say number 1. We said that he's a leader. Okay,
leader.
But what is the things he has to
challenge?
Work?
Ego. Ego is a challenge. So broken ego, when a person is like following the ego, you know, that whatever it tells him, like for example, search for a validation from others, does not rely on himself, herself, and ego sometimes can ruin him. So for example, if someone said something bad about him being like in this role and stuff, he's gonna lose. Yeah.
So lack of confidence.
Yes.
Because when you say ego, I think it's arrogance.
It is arrogance as well. So everyone born on 1 will be slightly arrogant and will be arrogance driven. Because like, look, it's 1, it's open in the cycle. It's like, I want to be top 1, you know? So of course there's going to be ego and pride, right? This is a problem. This is a challenge, pride as well. And how to overcome it is basically independence, do not be driven by whatever people say. You just need to accept this, like, I'm a leader. And I can rely and believe in myself, because 1 usually does not believe in themselves enough to reach this. Like, they want to be top 1, but they don't believe in themselves. They need for others to tell them, you know?
Okay.
And once they hear that, they can believe in themselves. So basically, stop searching for validation and believe in yourself, act, and just know that people will follow.
And because we want to help people, and I know both of us have good intention behind this podcast to help people, money, or number one, just one action. I know. There is going to be again details. Delegation. Okay, number one, delegate.
Assistant. Find an assistant
Find
immediately.
an assistant.
Or at least cleaning lady, yes. Yes.
Okay,
true.
number two.
Number two is opposite of one. So two always, by the way, one always initiates themselves, right? Wants to initiate, wants to be proactive. Two will always be with the one, will always follow. The best partners, the people, I call it mama energy. Like they are always super caring. They are always family oriented, best family oriented people too.
Regardless, it's a male or a female.
Regardless, yes.
Okay.
People who take care of others and help others, best psychologists, right? Like number two.
Really?
Yes. And they have power in their voice. The challenge that they have is they can't do things alone. Like they need others to do things with them. That's why they build families very fast, because they need like a partner, you know. And they can't do things alone, and they're very codependent. Codependence is an issue. So they need to work on that, you know. They need to learn a little bit from one.
For number one.
Yeah. Number three.
Advice?
Advice. Like work on codependence. It's very important. And I would say that don't, like, you know, what two always come to me and ask, like, how do I achieve? How they want to be like everyone else, like, achieve, but they're not. So I would say don't do that. Like invest in what you're good at, which is taking care of people.
Be family.
And don't be codependent. Like don't wait for your partner to tell you what to do. Just a problem.
And money advice?
For two, use your voice. They're great at communication. If they allow themselves to speak their voice, great, like musicians, singers, you know, everyone who uses their voice. And partner with strong people. They can partner with strong people who they
to learn
trust.
From.
Yes, who they trust, but be equal partners, not like I
not
follow.
Just depending on them.
And like communication and give to people. Like there are certain codes which need to be like serving. This is 2 and 9 primarily.
Really? So by serving, it means financially or by advice, by helping, any kind, any type.
Anything. But 2 usually helps one-on-one. 9 usually helps big groups of people. Like this, like yeah.
Number 3,
which is you. Yes. So stage people, right? Stage people.
That's why we're here.
Yes, people who like, you know, remember I said like your keyword is like fun also, and humor and jokes and stuff. This joker energy, you know, like jumping around and joking.
Entertainer.
Yeah, 100% entertainer. So challenge, start and quit things fast. Like don't finish things. Another challenge is very much, by the way, I always say that, right? Like 3 is also one of the smartest codes. So 3 and 5 are the smartest codes, which are very logic oriented. And sometimes 3 is very critical and black and white because of that. This is a challenge. And 3 advice, right?
Yeah.
No routines, no boring stuff, no like putting themselves in a box, no things like this. You have to shine. You can't be in a box, right? Money-wise, for 3, stage, presenting, all of these things which we discussed.
This is going to receive a lot of money.
Yeah.
No, I'm really enjoying that.
Yes.
Really enjoying that. But I have a question. When you say start and finish,
like basically you start start something, you get energy, like, oh, it's exciting.
And get bored quickly.
And get bored, yeah.
So one of the things is to continue.
And
number
finish.
3, continue. Carry on.
Continue.
Okay, number 4.
Opposite of 3, another opposite. Very stable, very grounded, very structured, process oriented. Lack of, by the way, so 3 and 4 have lessons of emotional maturity, because 3 is expressive, 4 is not, and they need to learn from each other. 4 needs to learn their self-expression, need to work on emotions. Every 4 welcome to therapy, 100%, because they suppress and then they have issues. They're one of the most abusive codes as well. Like
Abusive.
abusive for
They abuse or they get abused?
they abuse.
Okay, on the floor.
They abuse, yes, because they don't know how to deal with their emotions, and they use this pressure and control as the methods, which because they love to control. The challenge is the hyper control. They control every step of everyone, and they control themselves. That they don't let themselves breathe, and they don't feel when they have to stop, and then health issues come. That's what happens all the time. Very masculine energy. And for advice, I always say you can stick to the plan, but you need to self-expression, like learn from three.
Number 3.
Some space for self-expression. Give yourself something fun to do, because they don't have fun activities usually. They are very like, even especially women, I feel so bad. So and of course I always say focus also on not only here but body. So massages, spa, very important for them.
Pamper
The
yourself.
advice for yes, money wise for needs to create processes. They need to be the organizer of the processes. Very great operational people who run operations, like who control that. Let's go faster. Yes. Next one, 5, freedom lovers. Freedom lovers, but at the same time, this is the code of tradition. So it's such a contradictory code, because they are usually these people on the opposites. Either they're super like no commitment, especially men, men 5,
Okay.
no commitment. I can't commit. I love freedom. Yes. Or usually women 5, they're opposites. They're like, oh, traditional family, arranged marriages, all of this. But they need to meet in the middle, because this code is the problem of this code. It's the smartest code, teacher energy. They learn fast. They accumulate knowledge fast, but they are all over the place. All over. Like they start this knowledge, and they also never finish, like 3. But they are always buying courses, studying something new, but they never put this 1 + 1 together, They're just like everywhere, chaotic, very chaotic energy. So they need to focus. They need to find priorities in life and focus, and they need to learn commitment. They need to learn commitment with keeping their freedom.
So numerology is not just analyzing, but also knowing your lessons, your karmic lessons.
100%, 100%. And if you ask people who we are talking about now, they will find it in themselves, 100%, And by the way, in my method, we calculate up to 22, but today we're going to speak from 1 to 9, which is traditional way, the basic. Yes, and some numbers are very different. Like, for example, not very, but like, for example, 14 and 5 will have slight difference. 14 is going to be more creative than 5, let's say. And let's say me, 19 and 1. They are also very different. 19 is more spiritual because it has 1 and 9.
Yeah, and the 9. True.
So there is a difference. But still, let's go back to 5. Lesson I said, right? Learn commitment and balance. Still keep changing your life. Like keep the freedom and adventure in your life, but try to be focused on one thing, at least 2 things. 6. Funny enough, I was recently thinking about the devil code, 666, right? It's usually the code.
But I think it's not true, right?
It is related to energy 6 a lot. I'll tell you why. Because the negative manifestation of code 6 is seduction and all of this, like bad things. That's why it's very much related. 6 is an amazing code. I have a lot of 6 in my matrix. It's a code of beauty, code of love, code of nurturing, care as well. Code of they have a problem of self-love. They have a problem of overgiving. They have a problem of being too good for others.
True.
They seek perfection in everything. They need to be perfect. They need to be good girls or good boys to prove, always prove. But the reality is they need to learn to be bad sometimes. They need to be selfish, prioritize themselves, and don't be like afraid that you didn't give your family enough attention and stuff. And they need to be like I said, bad girls, bad boys, sometimes they need to learn that, because this is the problem with them. Because 6 and 15, it's the codes like I said, codes of seduction, code of in the negative manifestation of dependencies, like all this, like, manipulation. they're
Really?
they're the best manipulators. Best. Yes. Of course, no one beats Scorpios, but but it's the same. Yes.
Advice?
Advice: self-love. Give yourself love. Be a little bit selfish, like I said. Always feel first, then follow what you feel. If you feel things are right, just go ahead with that.
Go with your intuition.
This is another what we discussed about feminine codes, more intuition based, and masculine codes more logic based.
Just had now a question about the men and women, and they say that the sun is the masculine energy and the moon is the feminine energy.
Yeah.
Is it true, or is this something different?
Yeah, the kinda true. Yeah, even in numerology, like number one is sun. Each code is has the planet. So, for example, 1 is sun, 2 is moon, 3 is Jupiter, 4 is one of the nodes, karmic nodes. It's Vedic numerology, by the way. They rely on that. 5 is Mercury, which is like everywhere, and 6 is Venus. That's why beauty,
Wow.
beauty. Yes,
This is with the what we call them,
planets.
the planets.
Yeah. They have
Amazing. So this is
correspondence.
also related to the planets.
They find connections, of course, because all of these methods, they just it's like languages, like like English,
Amazing.
Arabic, like it's just different languages
True.
of saying the same thing. If the specialist is good, they can use any method. Yeah.
Like you.
No. Okay.
And the advice, we said self-love.
Yes, we said.
Money. This is money advice or
No,
general?
money advice is focus. You have to feel great first and then act. You can't act without, like, for example, 4 can set up, and 7, they can set up big goals and just act without like feeling right. But 6 needs to feel right, like feel, like emotionally.
Emotional.
Yeah.
Okay.
7.
Number 7.
7 is a spiritual code.
thinker.
7 skies, all of that. They
Yeah.
connect spiritual and material. They're usually also, they have two opposites. Either they're too materialistic, all politicians, like President of Russia, 7 born.
Oh.
Yeah. All
What
of
team?
them.
He's
Yes,
7?
he's 7th of October. Yes. So, for example, very, very a lot of politicians are 7 because it's a warrior code, very materialistic, goal-oriented, active, driven, or opposites. They're flying in the clouds, super spiritual. They don't want to act. They want to chill on the sofa and do nothing. So very opposite sides of this. And usually the drive of 7 is like aggressive, something has to happen, so they act. For 7, the advice is never be stagnant, always act, always proactively do things, like, for example, travel, move, dance, sport, anything.
Physically.
You have to move your body.
Really?
Yes, because otherwise the energy is going to get stuck, you're going to get lazy and blah, 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 blah. Fly in the clouds. Because 7 is a thinker, super great talent in research, in going deep, But yeah, money advice is the same, to be active.
To be active.
8.
8.
Code of money, power, and abundance. I have a lot of ladies who are 8, who are with me all the time. They always come with a request, like, oh, what to do with money, of course, because they are driven by money a lot. 8 is an interesting code, very masculine, code of power. Usually, as I say, these people are either in a good position and they have good enough, like good money, or they're broke completely, nothing in between.
Oh.
Because if you look at Forbes list, 3 numbers will be there: 1, 5, and 8, always. Because on like those people just know how to make money. That's it.
By nature.
That's it. No effort even sometimes. 8 has easiest way, but they block themselves.
Why?
Just because it's one of the lessons, right? To reach that, and they don't know how to approach it. It's the same, for example, for 1, they are natural leaders, but they're so scared. Same with the 8 and money. Same with 3 and shine. Yes, it's the same. It's always the key lesson. So that's why it's called karmic numerology.
Okay. I like that.
Yes, so for 8, it's very important to overcome these fears. They have problems. Which problems they have? They hide things, like they are not open emotionally as well, like 4. They are very negative thinkers. The worst negative thinkers, it's 8. They always think negatively. They usually compare themselves to others a lot, and then they again negatively think about themselves. And sometimes they just there is another opposite 8. What happens is like they want a lot of things, but they don't really have the past, and they need to have a clear vision. Talking about advice for 8: big vision, clear vision, what I want, positive mindset, because they will see opportunities so easily because it's their talent, and it's a karma code. So don't do bad things and give to people.
No shady.
Yeah, no shady, no illegal stuff. Yeah, and give to people. The more you give, the more you get. Simple as that. And 9, final code. Spiritual code, yes. By the way, in Vedic, it's very different. We usually have conflicts on my Instagram page about that number with a lot of people, because in Vedic, it's Mars energy, which is like fighter, Aries energy. But in karmic numerology, it's not like that. It is 9 is the strongest. It's very strong code. They don't seem strong outside, but they're very strong inside. It's iceberg energy. They have something to show, but they don't show fully themselves.
Okay.
Very spiritual. That's why they can look young, but they're very old inside, deep, mature, wise, super great energy, super scared to open up, super scared to show what they have to offer. Like super scared in general. So many fears they have.
But I think maybe this show their authenticity, that they want to not to show off. If you seek wisdom, you will go, I don't know, this is in my mind. You go to climb the mountains in the nature and you find a wise man sitting there meditating. I think this is how they are.
Sometimes they run from reality. And the problem is, since it's a karmic method, it talks about their karmic baggage. So the karmic baggage of 9 usually is someone betrayed them and they had to like hide in the shell. Like the soul is very scared to open up, basically. They are scared because people can hurt them, They're very scared to get hurt. Very scared. And they carry the guilt for the whole humanity, That's why they're spiritual. Because their key thing which they're good at is to heal and help. Best doctors, born 9, best doctors, and money code 9, because they're healers, natural healers of others. They can sit with you and heal you with words. Amazing. Or with hands as well,
Wow. Okay, so let's get to the heart of something that intrigued me about your work, the way how you combine numerology and psychology. I know we spoke about this at the beginning, but not in a detailed way. So how can understanding our numbers from both numerological and psychological perspective can help someone at a personal level, breaking the pattern, understanding emotional trigger, make even a life decision? Because your approach is unique. It's not just telling numbers and analysis. You will go back with a bucket of actions, of tips,
True.
and kind of you make peace with yourself. Because me, at the personal level, I always questioned myself, or even sometimes blame myself, why I have this mix of emotions, this roller coaster of emotions. And I remember you used the word roller coaster with me.
3,
How can I love someone, hate someone, sympathize with the person, cry, be happy, even at work or with some of my friends, I'm like the hyper. Then I realized it's me, and kind of made peace with that. And I start to work on it thanks to your advices.
Yes. So it's a very simple answer, actually.
Yeah.
I take the numbers. I see the root causes of the problems, of what happened, why happened, what's your personality, right? Like what you said about emotional roller coasters. Then what I do, I look at the blocks. I use psychology to remove the blocks, to remove negative statements, to remove all the negativity, the traumas and stuff. Then I use also like a psychology and coaching to set up the plan and boost it based on your numbers. Then you get the action plan. This is the keyword I use all the time, action plan. But we need 3 things: analysis, who you are, removing the roadblocks on the road to success, and creating action plan. And of course, then it's your task to act.
True. And what kind of tools you use in psychology?
I use mostly cognitive psychology, and sometimes I use it's Eric Burns' method of inner child, adult, and parent. So I use classic clinical psychology, mostly cognitive method, and now I'm actually studying more methods in my master's. Yes, but a lot
Okay.
of things.
And the last question, what advice you'd like to give to the audience? Is there something you want to share?
Never stop learning, and the more you learn yourself, the more you like it's your life, and you are the author of this life. So don't waste your time like trying to prove
Yeah.
to anyone. Learn about yourself, because these learnings will double your return on investment very fast, you know.
And sit with yourself. Sit
Yes. Don't
yourself.
be scared of yourself.
Listen to those fears.
Yes.
Listen to those pains,
Yes.
because they are here to liberate you. Instead of hating it and rejecting it, just listen to them, cope with them, and seek answers, whether through numerology or psychology,
Or anything
or
else.
go to Bali or
Yeah.
any place. Just
Yeah.
keep seeking the answers.
Yeah.
That's amazing. It was very nice. Thank you so
Asma.
much.
Thank you, Asma.
Thank you.
Thank you.